Yes, dear students, today I have learned the 8th standard English lesson, Sir C.V. Raman. Yes, all of you see the textbook. I read the lesson. Sir C.V. Raman. Sir C.V. Raman was a great scientist. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for his work on scattering of light and his discovery of the effect of light rays, Raman effect. The government gifted him 25 hectares of land to carry out further research work. Raman Institute was the dream child of Sir C.V. Raman. Sir C.V. Raman was born on 7th November 1888 in Trichy. He was the son of Chandrasekhara Iyer and Parvati Amma. Chandrasekhar Iyer was a professor of physics at Hindu College, Vishakhapatnam. Raman studied there at the Hindu College High School. He was very much interested in science from his boyhood days. Even as a boy, he had made the model of a dynamo. During his school days, he borrowed science books from college students and read them. Thus, from his early days, he showed great interest in science. Unfortunately, he used to fall sick every now and then, and he was not able to attend school regularly. In spite of his poor health, he got a first class in matriculation examination when he was only a boy of 12. He passed the intermediate examination from Hindu College. He joined the Presidency College, Madras, for his BA. His relatives wanted him to give up science and take history and economics as his special subjects for BA. Since Raman had made up his mind to study science, he took physics. He passed his BA, securing the first rank and a number of prizes. He passed his MA physics in January 1907. After his MA, Raman wanted to go to the United Kingdom for higher studies in science, but his health broke down again and he could not go. This was the greatest disappointment in his life. His relatives asked him to give up his study of science and take a competitive examination in Calcutta in history and economics. Raman did so and got along well with his new subjects. He got the first place in the competitive examination and was appointed Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. His relatives perhaps felt happy to see that Raman had settled down well in life. But Raman was not happy. How could a scientist like Raman put up with the life of Deputy Accountant General. He felt like a fish out of water in his new post, but he still had hopes of becoming a scientist and was waiting for an opportunity. Even as Deputy Accountant General, Raman mixed with the scientist and took interest in science. One day, while returning from his office, he saw a banner outside a building on which was printed the Indian Association of Scientists. Underline the sentence. The Indian Association of Scientists. At the sight of the banner, Raman got off the moving train and went to meet the scientists who had gathered in that building. Sometime later, when he was in Rangoon, he learned that an institution had bought a piece of modern scientific apparatus. He hurriedly put on his clothes and went to have a look at it. Such was the interest he had in science. In 1911, Raman was appointed Special Accountant General for Post and Telegraphs in Calcutta. But when he was offered the post of professor at Calcutta University, he jumped at that offer and accepted the post gladly. After working at Calcutta University for 15 years, he became the director of the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. The Raman Research Institute was started in 1948. Raman resigned his post at the Indian Institute of Science and became the director of the Research Institute. Here, he conducted his research in physics until his death. Raman was a great scientist. Throughout his life, he was intensively attached to science. For the sake of science, he gave up the highly paid post of the Special Accountant General and accepted a professorship at Calcutta University. He would forget all about food and rest while he was at work. And his wife had often to tell him that his breakfast or coffee was getting cold. Like all great scientists, Raman had a lot of curiosity. Earlier in his life, while on a voyage to Europe, he saw the wonderful blue of the Mediterranean Sea. This led to his work on the laws of light scattering in liquids, and ended in his discovery of the Raman effect. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for this in 1930. Raman was a kind man. He helped people when they were in difficulty. When he was working as Deputy Accountant General, a villager went to him with some badly burned 100 rupee notes. Any other person perhaps would have turned the villager away. But Raman took pity on the villager, examined the notes himself, and allowed the villager to exchange the burnt notes for new ones. Once at the Raman Institute, Research Institute, a candidate was not given admission as he did not do well in his test. When his traveling allowance was paid, the candidate found that he had received more. He returned to the office to pay back the excess amount. When Raman came to know of this, he liked the candidate's honesty and admitted him to the institute. The candidate was not able to make out why he was admitted. When he had not done well in his test, it seems Raman told the candidate, I have admitted you to the institute because of your character. You are not very good at physics, but I can teach you. During his life, Raman received a number of honors and medals. In 1929, he was knighted by King George V and became Sir C.V. Raman. A number of universities honored him with doctorates. He was a member of many international scientific organizations. In 1954, the government of India awarded him Bharat Ratna. In 1957, the Soviet Union honored him by awarding the International Lenin Prize. Raman died on November 29, 1970 at the age of 82. In his death, India lost one of our great sons and the world a great scientist. Okay? Yes. I come to the glossary. Glossary meaning contains give up. Give up means leave. Leave means stop. Andre ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸು. Give up. Make a sentence. My brother give up bad habits. My brother give up bad habits. ಅಂದ್ರೆ bad habits ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. Next, secure uptime. Uptime means earn. Earn means ಪಡೆಯುವಂಥದ್ದು, ದುಡಿಯುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಪಡೆಯುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Put up with, put up with, bear or tolerate. Tolerate. Tolerate means ಸಹಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದು. ಸಹಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದು. Next, sight. Sight means seen. ದೃಶ್ಯ or ನೋಟ. ನೋಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ನೋಟ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ದೃಶ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಸೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ put on. Put on means wear. Wear means ಧರಿಸು. For example, I put on a new dress. I put on a new dress. ಇದು ಹೊಸ ಬಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ. ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಈಗರ್ನೆಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಓದುವಂಥ ಆಸೆ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಈಗರ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಯೇಜ್. ವಯೇಜ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಜರ್ನಿ ಬೈ ಸಿ. ಸಮುದ್ರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಜರ್ನಿ ಬೈ ಸಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ವಯೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ? ಎಸ್. Shall I start the lesson explanation? Okay. Sir C.V. Raman. Sir C.V. Raman was a great scientist. You know, all of you, Sir C.V. Raman was a great scientist in our country. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for his work on scattering of light. ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು ಇವರಿಗೆ ನೋಬೆಲ್ ಪಾರಿತೋಷಕ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಅತ್ಯುನ್ನತವಾದಂಥ ಪದವಿ ಇದು, ಅತ್ಯುನ್ನತವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಬಹುಮಾನ ನೋಬೆಲ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಟರಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ರೇಸ್. ಈ ಲೈಟ್ ರೇಸ್ಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ, ಚಲಿಸ್ತವೆ, ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಅದು ಪ್ರಕಾಶಮಾನವಾಗಿ ಬೀಳ್ತವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಟರಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದರು, ಕಂಡು. ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ರಾಮನ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ರಾಮನ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಎಸ್, ದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗಿಫ್ಟೆಡ್ ಹಿಮ್ 25 acres of land to carry out further research work. The government had gifted 25 acres of land to give to him. Why? To research work. To research work. Research work annu madadikagitte. Raman Institute was the child dream child of Sir C.V. Raman. ಏನು ಕನಸು ಕಂಡಿದ್ರು ಮಗು ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ನನಸಾಯಿತು. ಎಸ್, Sir C.V. Raman was born on 7th November 1888. ಇವರು ಜನಿಸಿದ್ದು 1888. Raman was born on 7th November 1888 in Trichy. He was the son of Chandrasekhar Iyer and Parvati Ammal. He was the son of Chandrasekhar Iyer and Parvati Ammal. Chandrasekhar Iyer was a professor of physics at Hindu College, Visakhapatnam. ಆಂಧ್ರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದ ವಿಶಾಖಪಟ್ಟಣ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾರು? ಇಸ್ ಫಾದರ್. ರಾಮನ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್. ಇವರು ಅಲ್ಲೇ he was studying Hindu College High School. He was very much interested in science from his boyhood days. He was very much interested in sciences since the boyhood days. ಅಂದರೆ ಸಣ್ಣವನಿದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ಅವನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ, ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು. Even as a boy, he had made the model of dynamo. He was the boy. He made a dynamo, model of dynamo. Dynamo ಅನ್ನು ಸಹ ಆಗಲೇ ಮಗುವಿದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ಇದನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದಿದ್ದರು. During his school days, he borrowed the science book from college students and read them. ನೋಡಿ, during the childhood days, school days ನಲ್ಲಿ he borrowed some college students books and read them. Okay, yes. Thus, from his early days, he showed a great interest in science. Unfortunately, he used to fall sick, and every now and then he was not able to go to attend the school regularly. Sir C.V. Raman did not go to school regularly because he was fall sick and now and then. In spite of his poor health, he got to first class in his matriculation examination when he was only the boy of 12. When he was only boy of 12, he got first class in the matriculation examination. He passed the intermediate examination from Hindu College. ಇದಲ್ಲದೆ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಸಹ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. and joined Presidency College at Madras for his BA. Next, Presidency College ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು BA ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. His relatives wanted him to give up science and take history and economics as his special subjects for BA. His relatives always told him, you take history and economics. You give up science. You take economics and history. Very easy subjects. Since Raman had made his mind to study science, but Raman had made to study the science. He took physics. He passed his BA, securing the first rank and a number of prizes. He passed his BA, securing the first rank and number of prizes honored. He passed his MA Physics in January 1907, and also he passed the MA Master of Arts, passed Master of Arts in January 1907. After his MA, Raman wanted to go to United Kingdom for higher studies in science. He wanted to go to United Kingdom for higher studies, but his health broke down again and he could not go because he did not go to United Kingdom because the health broke down again. So he did not go to United Kingdom. This was the greatest disappointment in his life. Disappointment means ಬಹಳ ಅವರು ಚಿಂತೆಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ his relatives asked him to give up his study of science. Our relatives also told, you give up science and take a BA, History and Economics, and take a competitive examination in Calcutta in History and Economics. Raman did so and got only well in his new subjects. I told ಹೇಳಿ History Economics ಅನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಓದು. He was the new subject of him. He got the first place of the competitive examinations. ಆದರೂ competitive examination ಏನಾದರೂ first place. And he was appointed Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. 1907 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ Deputy Accountant General ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡರು. His relatives perhaps felt happy to see that Raman had settled down well in his life. His relatives were happy. Why? Raman was settled down in his life. He got a job. He got a job. Yes. How could a scientist like Raman put up with a life of deputy accountant? It is saadhya. Raman was very interested in science. How could the job deputy accountant general lead? He felt like a fish out of the water. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಫಿಶ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್, ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಮೀನನ್ನು ದಡಕ ತಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಾಗ. Yes, but he still had hopes of becoming a scientist and was waiting for an opportunity. ಈ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಾಯ್ತಾರೆ. Even as Deputy Accountant General, Raman mixed with the scientists and took interest in science. Even as a Deputy Accountant General, but Raman mixed with the scientists, took interest in science. One day, while returning from his office, he saw a banner outside a building on which was printed the Indian Association of Scientists. Indian Association of Scientists. At the sight of the banner, Raman got off on moving train and went to meet the scientists who had gathered in that building. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಭೇಟಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. Sometime later, when he was in Rangoon. ರಂಗೂನಿಗೆ ಬರ್ಮಾದ ರಂಗೂನಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು. He learned that an institution had got a piece of modern scientific apparatus. Modern scientific apparatus ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಯಲು. He hardly put on his clothes and went to have a look at it. Such was the interest he had in science. ತಾನೂ ಸಹ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ ತಾನೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾತ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಧರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆಸೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಇನ್ 1911 ರಾಮನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಲಿಗ್ರಾಫ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ. ಕಲ್ಕಟ್ಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಲಿಗ್ರಾಫ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು, he has appointed. Raman was appointed. But when he was offered the post of the professor at Calcutta University, then they gave offer when he was offered the post of professor of Calcutta University. He jumped at the offer and accepted the post gladly. Calcutta University ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಹುದ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನು ಆಯ್ಕೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ ಕಲ್ಕತ್ತಾ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಫಾರ್ 15 years, how many years? 15 years he was worked at Calcutta University. He became the director of the Indian Institute of Science at Bangalore. Then further he was appointed as Indian Institute of Science, director of Indian Institute of Science at Bangalore. The Raman Research Institute was started in 1948. When was Raman Institute started? 1948. Raman resigned his post in the Indian Institute of Science and became the director of the Indian Research Institute. Here he conducted his research in physics until his death. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅವರ ಕೊನೆ ಕಾಲದವರೆಗೂ ಸಹ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿದರು. ರಾಮನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್, ಬಹಳ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್. ಥ್ರೂಔಟ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿವ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ಟು ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ಥ್ರೂಔಟ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಹಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ಟು ಸೈನ್ಸ್. For the sake of science, he gave up the highly paid post of the Special Accountant General and accepted the professorship at Calcutta University. ನೋಡಿ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಆದರೂ ಸಹ ಅವರು ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರು, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಲ್ಕಟಾ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರು. He would go forget all about food and rest while he was at work. He was work at he forget rest and food. ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫುಡ್. ಅವರು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಊಟ ಮತ್ತು ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದನ್ನೇ ಮರೀತಾರೆ. And his wife had often to tell him that his breakfast of coffee was getting cold. ಅವ್ರ ಮನೇಲಿ ತಂದೆ ಫುಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಫಿಯನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್, ತಣ್ಣಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಬ್ಯುಸಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂಚಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್, ರಾಮನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ. ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೈಫ್, ವೈಲ್ ಆನ್ ಎ ವಯೇಜ್ ಟು ಯುರೋಪ್ಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಯೇಜ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಮುದ್ರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಯಾಣವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಸಮುದ್ರ? He saw the wonderful blue of the Mediterranean Sea. Blue Mediterranean Sea. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಡೀ ಮೆಡಿಟೇರಿಯನ್ ಸಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಲೂ ಕಲರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಂಥ ಸಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಇವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ವಯೇಜ್ ಪ್ರಯಾಣವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. This led to his work on the laws of the light scattering in liquids, and it ended in his ಡಿಸ್ಕವರಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ರಾಮನ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇದು ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನನಗೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಟರಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for this in 1930. 1930ಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾಟರಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನೋಬೆಲ್ ಬಹುಮಾನ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತು. Raman was a kind man. He helped people when they were in difficulty when he was working as a deputy accountant general. ಇವರು ಡೆಪ್ಯೂಟಿ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇವರು ಬಹಳ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ಅನೇಕ ಜನರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವರು ಒಲವನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಿದರು. ಎ ವಿಲೇಜರ್ ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಹಿಮ್ ವಿತ್ ಸಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಹೌ 100 rupees more. Any other person perhaps would have turned to the villager's army. ಒಬ್ಬ ಬಡವ ವಿಲೇಜರ್ 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನೋಟುಗಳೇನಾಗಿದ್ದು ಬರ್ನ್ಡ್, ಸುಟ್ಟೋಗಿತ್ತು, ಅರ್ಧ ಸುಟ್ಟೋಗಿತ್ತು. ಅವನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಯಾರು ಸಹ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ರಾಮನ್ took pity on the villagers. ವಿಲೇಜರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕರುಣೆಯನ್ನು ಬಂದು ಅವರಿಗೆ examined the notes himself and allowed the villager to exchange the burnt notes for a new ones. ಅವನನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಬರ್ನ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೊಸ ನೋಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಅವರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಸ್, once at the Raman Research Institute, a candidate was not given admission as he did not well in his test. ರಾಮನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಎ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. Who will perform the well in test to give the admission to the Raman Institute, but he did not do well in his test. When his traveling allowance was paid, traveling allowance ಅನ್ನು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, the candidate found that he had received more. ಟ್ರಾವೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಲೌನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ವಾಪಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಂದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಈ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಟು ದ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಟು ಪೇ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. When Raman came to know of this, he liked the candidate's honesty and admitted him to the institute. ಅವನು ವಾಪಸ್ ತಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನ ಹಾನೆಸ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ನಂಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. The candidate was not able to make out why he was admitted. Candidate was thinking why he was admitted to Raman Institute when he had not done well in tests. ನಾನು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೂ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Why? It seems Raman told the candidate. Raman told the candidate, I have admitted you to institute because of your character. ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಗುಡ್. ಸೊ ಐ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಯು ದ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್. ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಅಟ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಯು. ನೀನು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತಮವಾಗಿ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ, ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಯು, ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ Raman received a number of honors and medals. During the life, ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಮನ್ received a number of honors and medals. In 1929, he was knighted by King George V and became Sir C.V. Raman. ಜಾರ್ಜ್ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಅವರು 1929ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಸರ್ ಸಿ ವಿ ರಾಮನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ ಬಿರುದನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಎ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟೀಸ್ ಆನರ್ಡ್ ಹಿಮ್ ವಿತ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರೇಟ್ಸ್. So many universities have given their doctorates degree. He was a member of the many international scientific organizations and also a member of scientific organization, international scientific organizations. In 1954, the government of India awarded him Bharat Ratna. 1954, our country had given the awarded to Sir C.V. Raman Bharat Ratna. Bharat Ratna. In 1957, the Soviet Union honored him by awarding the International Lenin Prize. Soviet Union has awarded him the International Lenin Prize when Raman died on 20 November 21, 1970. When was Raman died? Raman died on November 21, 1970 at the age of 82. How old he was? He was 82 old. In his death, India lost one of her great sons and the world a great scientist. మరి దేశ అಲ್ಲ ఇది ప్రపంచమే ఏర్పడింది ఒక గ్రేట్ సైంటిస్ట్ అన్న కಳೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. Yes. Can I understand this lesson? Yes. We will come to the questions. Okay. When was Raman born? The answer is first paragraph reading. Come to the first paragraph. Sir C.V. Raman was born on 7th November 1888. 1888. Okay? Write down. Second question. Who were his parents? Who were his parents? His parents were Chandrasekhar Iyer and Parvati Ammar. Chandrasekhar Iyer and Parvati Ammar. First paragraph in the first paragraph. Next question. Why was Raman not able to attend the school regularly? ಯಾಕೆ ಅವರು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ? You used to fall sick and every now and then. So he did not go to school regularly. ಒಂದನೇ ಪ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ? Raman did not go to school regularly because of fall sick every now and then. Next question. Where did he complete his intermediate examination? Intermediate examination ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? In the second paragraph, he passed the intermediate examination from Hindu College. From Hindu College. Hindu College ನಲ್ಲಿ intermediate exam ಅನ್ನು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. Next question. What subject did his relatives advise him to take for BA? His relatives advised him to take economics and history. History and economics. ಇವನ್ನ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡು ತೆಗೆದುಕೋ. You give up science. You give up science. You take history and economics for BA. Next question. Why could not he go to UK for higher studies? Third paragraph ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೈಯರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಯುಕೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ? Raman wanted to go to United Kingdom for higher studies in science. But his health broke down again. His health broke down again. He could not go to UK, United Kingdom. Next question. How long did he work at Calcutta University? In the third paragraph, ಕಲ್ಕಟಾ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ಸಾರಿ, ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್. ಈ ರಾಮನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ at Calcutta University at 15 years. From 15 years, for 15 years ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅವರು ಕಲ್ಕಟಾ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿಲಿ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿದ್ರು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, how did the Soviet Union honor him? ಸೋವಿಯತ್ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಗೌರವವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಆನರ್ಡ್ಗಳನ್ನು, ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ? In 8th paragraph, in 1958, the Soviet Union honored him by awarding the International Lenin Prize. International Lenin Prize. Another question. How did the Indian honor him? India honored him. The India honored him, awarded Bharat Ratna in 1954. 54 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರತ್ ರತ್ನ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಕ್ತು. Yes. Another question. When did Raman die? When did Raman die? Raman died on November 29, 1970. November 29, 21, 1970. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. Okay, students, can you understand this lesson?